Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the very next episode of The Remedy with Tova Sido and
Janice Gaunt and
Tom Bridwell.
Hello, Tom.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Real good, real good.
Good.
Glad to not be talking about penises today.
I thought you would like to go revisit that.
No.
That was definitely a one and done for you, huh?
If you haven't listened to last week's, prepare yourself.
Good luck.
It was like
luck.
we were 10.
Totally, especially Tom.
He keeps us young, doesn't he, Tova?
Yes. But it really did help to have a guy's perspective in that.
Totally.
Yeah. Because we don't have those things.
No.
Thank
goodness.
God.
Just don't know what you do with them. You
Yeah.
just have to rearrange them. And anyway, we won't go there.
It's a lot of
Fiddling.
movement, a lot of fiddling. That's the best word. That's hilarious. Today we're going to move on to a much more non-sweaty topic, much less sweaty topic. 5 important relationship reminders.
Good.
Found this on Instagram, loved it, and I think these could be really helpful to anybody in a relationship. Do you want to tackle the first one, Janice?
Sure. Replace judgment or reactivity towards others with curiosity as quickly as possible.
That's
Judgment
tough.
towards others with curiosity. Interesting. So, is he saying, like, rather than you say,
being super reactive about something, you're like, wow, it seems like you're really upset about that. What
okay.
What triggered that for you? Or,
Are you okay?
Yeah.
It just seems like you're kind of buttoned up or something. You want to talk about it? That sort of thing.
Did that hurt your feelings when I said that? 'Cause something changed there. Instead of, what the hell's wrong with you?
Cry me a river.
But that is curious. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's curiosity.
It is
That
curiosity. And probably not the most productive way.
No, definitely not.
So when you and your beautiful bride have conflict, who traditionally brings it up?
I don't think there's...
Maureen?
Yeah, we are definitely reactive in our relationship. Like it goes from 0 to 60 really quickly.
Like with anger or?
Yeah, not with anger, but just like we will just jump right in. There's really no kid gloves.
Is it because you guys tend to take stuff personally?
I think we're just really honest. We're not suffering any BS, and so we'll just jump right in. Nobody's trying to really sugarcoat anything, which is cool. I mean, it's definitely a unique way to do things, but it works for us.
Yeah.
You would be the couple that says, what the hell's your problem?
Yes, we would.
I
guess I don't think there's really a traditional like.
I would not be either.
I don't think there's a person that is constantly, or is like typically the person that brings something up that needs to be discussed.
In your relationship
I don't
or in
think so.
relationships in general, are you saying?
I'm saying in our relationship, me and Maureen, but I don't. I mean, I guess maybe that extends into my friendships. I definitely will just kind of say what's on my mind. I have a pretty small filter, if any. And
we know.
Yeah.
That's why we like you.
Well, I mean, that's just, I don't know.
That's who you are.
Thank you. I just,
great.
I feel like I'd rather just get it all out on the table and get to the other side than just have it be not talked about, or just because then it just makes everything, you just get more and more frustrated each time something keeps happening.
Sure.
Yeah, and it just churns in you.
Yeah.
Churns in your mind, churns in your gut. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you will have a better, stronger relationship with anybody if you can get through the conflict. You have to have it, but then once you're through it, it's better.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I could not agree more with that. You know, Craig and I are doing premarital counseling, and our counselor asked him last week, like, when you first started dating Tova, what were your biggest attractions to Tova? And he said the things that we had in common, you know, we enjoy all the same things. And he said, and I also appreciated how, like, the kind of mom, the kind of friend, the kind of sister that she is. And so the counselor said, what did you like about those interactions? What did you observe? And he said her authenticity and her directness. Like, she's very direct about how she feels, what she expects. You know, there's no question about how Tova feels or what she's thinking, or she's not afraid to talk. And what was funny is he said, and what is it like when she is that way with you? And he said, uncomfortable. But it's so true. Like you're talking about how you and Maureen are both like that. And there is something to be said, I think, that makes you feel safe when you're with somebody who you can trust, that you know how they feel.
Well, or you can
what's going
ask
on.
them how they feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or they seem upset about something. It's like, hey, you seem upset. You want to talk about it? Okay, yeah. I actually do want to talk about it. You know?
Yeah. I think
Give me
that,
those relationships all day.
yeah, I think that Tom is more apt to come to me more quickly than I am to go to him.
Because you stew about things?
I don't stew, but what I will do, I guess it is kind of stewing, is that I'm trying to figure it out and trying to get a realistic perspective around it. Whereas Tom will, I mean, like, he'll, if something's bothering me, he will very quickly come and say, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Where it really doesn't even have anything to do with him, but he's very in tune.
Astute.
And will come.
To your energy.
He'll come. He really, and if I feel that way about him, if I know that there's something going on with him, I probably take a little longer than he does, because I sit and watch it. And, you know, so it's
both
kind of
approaches.
interesting.
I think I can be like that with Craig. Like, I'm always going to say something, but I try much harder than I did when we first started dating about taking my time, observing it, understanding it. Because what I learned about myself, I'm not putting this on you, but if I brought it up immediately that I started feeling it, what I usually do is I overreact, or I get it wrong. Like, or I scare him, you know, I'm putting that in quotes, like, because I'm bigger than I need to be. So I think I try really hard to observe it too, and to explore it a little bit before I start, what the hell is that about? You know, like when we first started dating, I could be very reactive. I've gotten a ton better at that.
Yeah, I think that is what happens. You get more comfortable. So I don't feel like I have to. I'm not like, oh, I wonder what's wrong. You know, I don't feel like I need to know that immediately, because it could be work, it could be, you know, a bunch of different things. And then, you know, but it, I mean, eventually we'll get, if that continues, then I will go and say, hey, do you have a minute? I try to get permission before I introduce something like that, because he works from home, and he'll be in the middle of trying to do something really important, and I might go in and say, hey, when you get a second, let me know if you have a second in a little bit or whatever. And then I can bring up something, but I wouldn't do it real serious. If it's something serious, I wouldn't bring it up then. I would wait until the end of the day so it wouldn't disrupt his business.
Yeah, I'm the
stuff.
same way too.
Yeah.
You learn. You learn
you
better.
do. You really do.
I mean, I think about how just in the way that you've communicated, not only like in counseling, but in our podcast, like it seems like you are a completely different wife to Tom than you were to your first husband.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah.
Much more thoughtful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And less reactive.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Well, and Kurt and I dated in high school.
Yeah.
And we were young,
you have those habits.
and we had all of that stuff, and we just never really talked about stuff like Tom and I. Tom is so good about if I say, hey, do you have a second, something I want to talk about? And if he's in the middle of something, he'll say, can I touch base in an hour? But he will always, if he's available, say sure. To where it's just an easy thing to do. And I think a lot of that has to do with age. We're just older and we're not in high school or college. And where I can remember when I was in high school and college, and I would make up stories about what Kurt was doing or what his motives were or what, rather than asking.
Well, and Tom is just such he makes you and the relationship, and so do you for him, safe. It's a very secure attachment. Whereas
it really is.
I don't think you and I have had that the way that we have that now.
That's right.
It feels so nice.
I know. I never, ever, ever wonder, what are you doing? Are you looking at, looking for a woman or anything like that, and he and women work for him, but I don't ever even think about him fooling around or anything.
Me neither.
Which
Craig.
does feel so good, doesn't it?
So good.
I know.
I am so grateful for that.
Me too.
That is a gift to a relationship.
It really is.
Because it's not a given in these days.
And you're that same way with him, and I'm that same way with Tom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. When you love and care about someone, yourself included, you're going to want to get curious about what their behavior is trying to protect them from. So, I guess we do things to protect ourselves instead of just saying, hey, that hurt my feelings.
I guess you're going to want to get curious about what their behavior is saying to protect them from you. Oh, I see. So they're saying that we're going to want to get curious about it if their behavior is different or strange or something. Is that what they're thinking?
Yeah, because I guess that when we behave differently, maybe we're trying to protect ourselves.
Yeah. Because that vulnerability is, I'm 72 and I'm so daggum old that I am. I have a lot of years. So I don't have any need to protect myself. I'm not running for office. I don't. It's such a comfortable place to be because I'm not running for office. So it really doesn't matter. I think my friends and my children and my husband, that's where I really do care about if I'm doing something I want them to all be okay with what I'm doing.
Sure.
You
don't care what everybody thinks, but you do care what they think.
I do. I definitely do.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I don't care what everybody thinks, but I do care about what a handful of people think.
Yeah. Isn't that nice? Because you're not running for cheerleader anymore.
Nope.
Yay.
Pom-poms down. In the trunk box. Locked up. Tom, you want to tackle the next one?
Sure. Learn to properly address things when they come up. Resentment is corrosive to relationships, and if you avoid, suppress, or minimize things that are impactful to you, you'll be met with more disconnection and space in between your relationship.
Amen to that.
No kidding.
That's great advice.
You know, and yeah, it's just if you're avoiding something, but yet you're being passive aggressive, or you're suppressing it, or you're minimizing them, like, oh, that's ridiculous, that's stupid, you don't need to why are you feeling like that, or why are you acting like that,
Or why are you making it such a big deal?
yeah, why is it such a big deal to you?
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Isn't it sad when couples talk to each other like that?
Yeah.
They do, though.
They totally do.
I mean, I am appalled at how some people treat one another in my living room. Like,
Yeah.
do you hear yourself? I mean, some people are mean to each other.
They are.
And honestly, I don't know how they recover
I
again
know.
and again and again and again and again and again from being so ugly to each other.
Well, I don't. I think people spend a lifetime acting like that sometimes. I mean, and it's unbelievable that, I mean, I always say, you know, you can either be happy or you can't-
Comfortably miserable for the rest of your life.
And if it's a big deal, then talk about it. But be careful when you talk about
Yeah.
it. You're running for office, and we want this person to vote.
Yep. Exactly. That's a great way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
That is a great way to say it. We, in relationships, we can often not be very careful.
Yeah. And you know, I'm very much that same way with my children because I mean, they're grown-ups. I don't criticize. I let them live. I live and let live with them. So, and it just keeps things really, really peaceful.
Yep. And it should.
Yeah.
It really should. You know, I think that I can see, you know, when my kids were teenagers, they weren't careful
Yeah,
with their words or their reactions because they were teenagers. But I can really even see Carter and Anna Prin growing and maturing in their reactions and their interactions with me. If we disagree, we're disagreeing more as adults now than parent-child.
Yeah.
It's starting to move into that a little differently, and I really appreciate that.
It's great. It's a friendship.
It really is. They need me to parent every once in a while still, but we're definitely moving out of that phase. And I like it.
I do too. I like it a lot.
Let some air out of that balloon.
No kidding. Before it pops.
Yes. Okay, do you want the next one, Janice?
Okay. Share your appreciation as frequently as you can. Just make sure that it comes from a non-performative place.
I don't know that I would ever feel like I would need to perform for Craig. I mean, I show him a ton of appreciation, but it's not, I mean,
It comes from a non-performative place.
I would never
You
be
mean he
performing.
doesn't have to share your appreciation as frequently as you can. Just make sure that it comes from a non-performative place. Like, I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, maybe we just stop it as show your appreciation as frequently as
Okay.
you can. Because I like that. And I think, I mean, I know you're really good at that too with Tom.
I think just the non-performative just means don't make it fake. Like don't do acting or kind of.
Oh, so it comes from a real place,
Yeah.
not a performance.
Nothing manipulative.
From a non-performative, so you're not faking it or being
Right.
But God, if you were in that kind of relationship, get the hell out of that relationship. Like, if I had to perform for Craig, I would not be with Craig.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
you had to
sometimes we have to perform at work or we have to perform.
So you're talking about like not being legit.
I guess so.
That because they demand you to be whatever.
You know what? This actually, now that you said that, that triggered something for me. My dad My dad used to compliment my mom all the time. And he used to kind of suck up. But it wasn't from an authentic place. It was out of fear. It was because...
He was afraid of your mom?
Very much so.
Oh.
We all were afraid of our mom. She was scary as hell. And I think his compliments and his appreciation, that I'm putting in quotes, for her and to her was self-preservation, not authentic.
It was performative.
Yes.
He was performing so that she wouldn't be mean to him.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And we were all very nice to her for the same damn reason.
Yeah.
And so we gave her lots of compliments so that I could go out on Friday night.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I totally get this now.
Yeah.
It just like ding, 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 ding. I grew up in that.
Mom, you're such a great mom. The breakfast was so good.
Breakfast was so
Can
good.
I go?
Can Sally spend the night tonight? Or actually, can I please spend the night at Sally's?
Yeah.
Let's get that one right. So I guess this is as making sure that you're not manipulating or performing or self-preserving, and that your compliments are authentic.
Now, if you are in a relationship with somebody who's very volatile, then and maybe yells and screams or curses, or even if somebody becomes physically aggressive, you may want to be a little more performative, so that you learn to you learn to keep the calm in the relationship for fear of what can happen.
Yeah, that's exactly what my dad did. And he taught us all to do the same. Just get in line.
Yeah.
So that we can all be safe.
Just be nice and smile and pretty.
Skinny.
Skinny. That's right. It's true.
Okay, last one.
Lord.
In conflict, make sure that their experience is just as important as your experience. Make sure how they're feeling is just as important as how you are feeling. I think this is really hard to remember and really important to do.
I do too.
Because we feel like our feelings and our experience, sometimes the way we act is giving off the vibe that my feelings about this are more important or more right than your feelings or your rightness. I'm more right than you're right. Why? People can be different.
Yeah.
And nobody has to be right or wrong. But I think for some people that in order for them to feel heard, they need to feel like they're right. And I don't think that's true.
No, I don't either. And I think that all of us have a role of being is helping our partner, our children, our grandchildren, all of that, to understand that what we are talking about with them is important to us. And therefore, they feel valued.
Very much so. I think when we put value on the other person's experience, even if we don't fully understand it
or agree. Yep.
But when we validate their experience, I think that, oh my God, that goes so far.
It goes so far. It really does.
When Craig says something like, you know what, that was not my intention, or gosh, I didn't see it like that, but I really understand how you do, and I'm really sorry about that. Done. Done.
Yeah.
But if we just debate realities, guess what we do? Chase tails.
Yeah.
We run in circles and nothing gets accomplished.
Yeah.
So I think that one's a really good one.
I do too.
All right. Well, you can thank us that your relationship is going to make it another week because of these 5 important relationship reminders. We are really good at what we do, Janice.
Oh, we are so good at this. We're very fortunate that there's a lot of information out in the world.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Makes us look and seem so smart. Fake it till you make it, right?
No kidding. Fake it even if you don't make it. Have a great week.
Yes. Thank you for listening.